party people. How we doing today? Thursday, high noon, ready to rock, ready to roll, rocking and rolling and whatnot, to quote Danny Zuko from Greece. Look at the studious face on Creative Tony right now. He's pulling levers over there left and right. I don't know what you're doing, Tony, but you look like you're hard at work. What are you wrapped up in over there? Look at you. Look at everybody take a look at Creative Tony right now. That focus glare, that laser intensity. What are you digging into over there, buddy?
Sorry, dude. I'm getting Instagram going.
Nice.
I'm getting Instagram going. So set up the show while I get Instagram going.
You got it, buddy. Your wish is my command. Hey, listen to me. Hello, Instagram, and hello, X/Twitter. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Cron4Plus. We love you guys, man. Great to be with you on a Thursday. Had a very fun night flight last night. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I know we did. And also, just want to remind every single body out there that if you need more Polymac particles, you can always dig into that Cron4Plus app and watch us every single night right after Sports Night Live on Cron4 Plus, where they show the newest installment of Polymac Particles. They've been really good to us over at Cron. Thank you so much, Chris Flynn and everybody else over at Cron. We shot that new commercial a couple of days ago. I look forward to seeing that. When we do have a final version, we'll share it with you guys as soon as we can. I have no idea what to expect, but hopefully it'll look good. All right, listen. We got a few things for you today, starting with the big news for us anyway in the PMP corner of the universe. We have a big event tonight with Don Peralta. In fact, you'll notice he is absent from the community today because he is already up at the at the Mill Valley Recreation Center. We will be in the Cascade Room tonight at 5:30. Tony, are you ready to glide into the Cascade Room? Don Peralta's already up there setting stuff up. We got to make this a quick show today because we have to get up there too. We're involved in the proceedings tonight. And I know we had a winner last night for the ticket. So somebody from the PMP community will be joining us at our table. It was a name I didn't recognize. It was, what was the name? Michael something, Tony?
Paulie, if I'm Kurt, it's because time's a factor, okay?
100%.
Mike Masaka. Masaka, come on down. He won the tickets to, or the ticket, shall we say, the ticket to paradise, Paulie. He won the ticket to paradise. Eddie Money will not be there. Neither will Eddie Pinheiro, Eddie Dinero Pinheiro. But Paulie, myself, Don Peralta, Los D will be there. It'll be a lot of fun, and it's for a great cause. So
let me ask you a question. Why is it that anybody named Eddie is like the coolest person in the room? And I'll give you a few examples. Like you just dropped an Eddie Pinheiro, home run. You know what? At this point, arguably my favorite Niner. I love him. I love when he trots out onto the field. It's a no-miss situation. He's been money. Tony, how about if I offer you an Eddie Van Halen? Or perhaps I'll offer you an Eddie Vedder. My point is, Eddie's across the board, rock solid. I don't know what it is. Something about that name, Eddie. I don't know.
Eddie Munster, Eddie Murphy. What else can I give you, Paulie?
Eddie Munster. Hell yeah, dude. Eddie Munster.
Right? Yeah. I don't know. My dad's name is Ed, and we called he used to be called Fast Eddie every now and again. So, and there was a great Texas barbecue place in Tahoe City called Fast Eddie's. So,
Noemi. Well, there now. See, the Eddie floodgates have opened. Eddie Noemi, as she often does, it just drives the fastball right down the middle. Kids. Eddie DeBartolo, for God's sakes, the greatest Eddie of them all. How about Eddie DeBartolo with his philosophy? I love that he said this to the entire team one point. He goes, gentlemen, this is Eddie DeBartolo. This is a quote, my favorite Eddie D quote. He goes, gentlemen, you got to bring ass to get ass. That's Eddie DeBartolo. Think about that for a second. You got to bring ass to get ass. Eddie DeBartolo, dude, I wish he was still bringing ass right now. I miss that man. I love Eddie DeBartolo. We will always be in the deepest kind of state of thanks and gratitude for what he built in San Francisco. Tony, that's back in the days when the Niners would go to Super Bowls and win them.
Yes, this is true. It's true.
I like the era. I like the 5-0 era as opposed to the 0-3 Super Bowl era post Eddie D. That's just me.
Well, Paulie, we're going on a long stretch. And by the way, I have to just before we move on with the program, many people in the chat saying Eddie from Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden's Eddie.
Hell yeah, dude. No, 100%. How about father of Christian McCaffrey, Ed McCaffrey? There's another one.
This is where you got to draw the line. Many people don't like to be referred to as Eddie, like Ed McCaffrey. He never refers to himself as Eddie. There's no Ed Sheeran doesn't like to be called Eddie. What's the
I'm not that
actor?
concerned with Ed Sheeran. Go ahead. Yeah.
Ed, what's the come on, Ed there's another actor. Edward Norton is Edward. Like he doesn't go Eddie Norton. So I think we got to draw the line. If you're referred to as Eddie, you're in the game. If you're not, you're out. Peace.
Well, I didn't know this is the shape the show is going to take today, but I feel like we're going to have to explore this a little deeper. Did you know it's actually true that Eddie Van Halen did not like being called Eddie? He preferred Edward. That's why David Lee always calls him, well, I'm working on some new tracks with Edward. He would always say Edward instead of Eddie because that was Eddie's preference, even though I call him Eddie Van Halen all the time. Yeah. He didn't like that, apparently.
Well, it's just funny because Eddie DeBarlo doesn't like to be called Ed. He never said, please call me Ed. Although I hear people call Eddie Vedder Ed. And also,
Eddie
Haskell didn't say, please call me Ed.
But how much different would the Eddie Haskell character be if he was like, Mom, Dad, this is my friend, Ed Haskell? It doesn't have the same. Yeah, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. I know.
Doesn't have the same panache, Paulie. You know what has panache, Paulie, is this matchup at the Vi on Sunday, because I'm starting to think, and I could be way off here because I'm way off often.
Me too. I'm way off more often than you're way off. I'm way off. Dude, that's my natural state. It's just being way off on everything, apparently. You know what I mean? I'm the last to know in a variety of ways. Yeah.
It's like it's like my favorite bumper sticker, Paulie. Not all those who wander are lost.
Jot this down, by the way. As I do have a gig this Saturday at the Brisbane Inn, 7:00. Please do come on down. We're going to have a great time. Tony's going to play bass on a few tracks. I got Buckethead Mark. I was actually drawing up the set list this morning. I'll send it to you tonight or at some point when I can catch my breath. Tony, what about this? What about Paulie Mac and the Way Offs?
Oh, yeah, sure.
We're way off. You're way off. I'm way off. Paulie Mac and the Way Offs. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
I was thinking about the word frolic. We had a session about the word frolic last night because I think it's going to be called Pimpin' Ain't Easy. The Holiday Frolic is going to be our name of our holiday party.
Should we dress like pimps?
No.
Should we go velvets and hats and feathers? And stuff? It might be kind of fun.
If you have the means.
They do. Sorry to interrupt you, Tony. I realize I stepped on you. Sorry. But before I lose this, they do have those events, and no disrespect to anybody, but they're called Pimp and Hoe Balls. Are you familiar with the Pimp and Hoe Ball where, I'm just throwing it out there. Pimps and hoes, no, for the Christmas party?
I'm going to stay out of this and say to each their own.
We were talking about Iceberg Slim last night. Yeah. Come on, man. It's part of the fabric of our society. What do you want?
We're just saying because PMP, the PMP for the initials for our show. And we turned it into a verb, pimpin'. And we talked about Iceberg Slim last night. Yes, we did. But Paulie, back to the Niners Rams. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel better about this game than I did earlier in the week. And I love that Bryce Huff is most likely going to be back. Ben Barch, dude. Barch is back practicing full participant in practice. And we don't know about Purdy and Jones. Again, I'm just assuming it's going to be Jones, and that's fine. But man, I don't know. The Niners need to hook Jones up with a cryogenic lab session or something, just to because he's getting his ass beat every week. So, but tip my cap to Mac Jones for going out there. I mean, his knee is banged up. He's got shoulder. So, but I'm feeling better about the matchup. I don't know how you're feeling, but I'm feeling better. And it's tough to beat them twice, right? But I'm feeling better about it. Your thoughts?
Okay. Well, here I'm going to react to what you said and simultaneously acknowledge a couple of comments here. Pine Needle, first of all, is feeling very confident. Oh, Pine Needle, by the way, I'm going to bust out the pepperoni robe on. We'll do that on Tuesday, bro. So I forgot last night to robe up, but thank you for that pepperoni pizza cape robe thing, because I'm going to put that on Tuesday. In any case. Pine Needle says that Niners 34, Rams 28. That's confident. I hope you're right. Now, and right below that, here comes Gravy, Mark Graves, saying the key is pressure on Matt Stafford. See, that's what I want to talk about. If they cannot pressure Stafford, the Niners are in deep trouble because he will pick you apart and he'll do it all day. He's a very accurate thrower when he has time in the pocket. He's not going anywhere. But if he has time, he can do a lot of damage. So that's one of my biggest priorities of this game. get in Stafford's face, knock him down, disrupt his rhythm. That's going to be a big part of it for me.
I think that they can do that, especially if Huff is back and Keon White gets in the mix. And like you said, immobility is not a part of Matthew Stafford's game. I will say he's having a damn good year so far. 21 TDs and only 2 picks. So he's putting balls, on a silver platter to his receivers. The Puka Nacua factor with being hurt with the ribs. I mean, obviously he's going to probably get some sort of crazy injection before the game, and so he feels no pain. But Paulie and I were joking around earlier about, just when you go to tackle Pua, just make sure you get the helmet right in the rib cage. Make sure you get the helmet right in the ribs, okay? Because
this is a pacifist hippie tree hugger, by the way, talking about intentionally injuring guys. Tony's got a violent side. He doesn't show it off, but I've seen it. Well, I saw it when you broke the coffee table and threw it in the fireplace. That's a kind of creative Tony when he's revving hot. And generally, Tony's angriest moments are connected to Niner losses. That's been my observation over the years.
Yeah, the 3 Super Bowl losses have kind of softened me because of now it happens more often, unfortunately.
It doesn't soften you. You know what it does, Tony? It numbs you. It makes you numb. Like, here's another one. Like, now I'm going to be uptight. We go to the Super Bowl again. I'm going to be very nervous. We're back in the old days. In fact, after the Niners beat Dallas in '94, Eddie, this is like minutes after the Niners finally beat the Cowboys in '94 NFC Championship. Eddie D's on the field, and they're doing the whole trophy presentation. Steve Young standing there. Eddie D grabs a mic and goes, listen, we'll be back in 2 weeks with the Lombardi Trophy. Thank you. And just walks away. That's why I love that guy. And I wish we had that kind of swagger and confidence now. Right there, just no regard for the Chargers whatsoever. Right. Yeah, I'll see you in 2 weeks with the Lombardi Trophy. Thank you, everybody.
What an ass kicking that was, too. And by the way, Mark Gravy Grave says, hey, go ahead, take a 15 against Puka. And like Ronnie Lott has always said, sometimes you got to take a 15.
Sometimes you got to take a 15, and also sometimes when we touch, the honesty is too much, Tony. I'll throw that on the pile.
Dude, that's a great one.
Sometimes when we touch, the honesty is too much. That's making me laugh right now. That's very funny.
Who is that?
No clue. Some kind of 70s yacht rocker. I don't know who that was. You know who I bet you knows? I bet you Noemi knows. Noemi, who sang that? Sometimes when we touch.
Wow, dude, there's no way in hell I would have known this, Paulie.
Who is it?
Dan Hill. Dan Hill.
Never heard of him. Sounds like somebody who lives next door to me or something. I got Dan Hill's mail today. You know what I mean?
Like, this goes back to the riff, dude. This goes back to the riff. Like, dude, I love good singer-songwriters. Jackson Brown, Simon and Garfunkel, Dan Hill, right?
Totally. I like Plant and Page, Jagger, Richards. I like Hill. I like Dan Hill a lot. Hey, Tony, Panaki's with us today, who's a stand-up comedian, and he's riffing. He's doing all his sharp edge comedy. He goes, Eddie DeBartolo did have the swagger. He had the swagger of a riverboat gambler. Listen to this guy. Stand up. I got you, Panaki. I got you.
Funny you mentioned that, Paulie. When I watched Ozark and they had the riverboat gambling shenanigans going on, I was like, oh, this is making me think of Eddie D.
This is what got Eddie. They got Eddie with the riverboat. Yeah, he was just trying to. Listen, Eddie D's got a briefcase full of cash like anybody. What's the problem? Here's your dough. Thanks, man. Yeah,
100%, Paulie. And speaking of briefcase,
by the way, somebody hands me a briefcase full of money, I got no problem accepting it. None. So approach me at your leisure with a bag full of money. I'll be accepting donations. Yeah.
As they did in Ozark, and as I just saw in Cocaine Quarterback, you better make sure you launder that money, Paul. You better make sure you clean that money.
It's all about the laundering. It's all about which is a federal offense, I believe. But anyway, go ahead. Or at least it's a felony. I know that. Yeah.
We're not recommending that you get involved.
No, we don't encourage laundering. Not publicly, anyway. No. Or if you're going to, at least consult with Bateman first. Talk to Jason Bateman. He knows how to do it.
Or consult with former USC football player Owen Hansen, who just spent 10 years in the clink for just the Cocaine Quarterback show on Amazon Prime.
You can't stop talking about this, dude. You cannot stop.
It's only 3 episodes, but it's like bam, bam, bam. And it's like you cannot believe that this is actually real life. And all of his portions of the show he's in the Slammer. He's talking. They interviewed him in the Slammer, but he got in Australia involved. He got a guy named Robin Hood 702. He got a guy named Robin Hood 702 involved to laundry money for him in casinos, dude. Anyways, it was a wacky wacky show. You brought up briefcases full of money. There were many briefcases full of money for this kid, Owen Hansen, and USC Trojan. And my friend Jordan Trott here in San Carlos, he played at Virginia Tech under Frank Beamer, but he grew up with this guy in Redondo Beach, so he knew about him. That's how I found out about this show. So I was like, oh, I'll check it out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is insanity, man. So anyways, check it out. Cocaine
Other great, Tony, only because you dropped the name Beamer on me. Other great Beamers would include, at least in the football universe, here it comes, Fast and Furious, Jamie Foxx in Any Given Sunday as quarterback Willie Beamer. Okay. Oh. Willie Beamer under center for the Miami Sharks, no less. Okay. Dude, Miami Sharks. Yeah.
I hear you. I don't have many Beamers except for Beam Me Up Scotty. Paulie,
can I tell you a funny story? Just a quick anecdote about Any Given Sunday. Is that you'll get a kick out of this, Tony. I know you don't know this. It's just an obscure footnote in my career. But back when that movie first came out, Lee Hammer was our fearless leader over at the Ticket 1050, which then became KNBR 1050. But anyway, I don't know if you're not going to remember this, Tony. I don't think I ever even talked to you about this, but I always think about this story when I see Any Given Sunday on TV. So that movie came out. The internet at that time was just starting to take shape. And Hammer's like, we need a bigger presence online. I want to start doing, Paulie, I want you to do concert reviews. I want you to do movie reviews. And he's like, in fact, there's a new movie out right now. It's called Any Given Sunday. It's about football. You should go see that and then write a review. We'll post it on the KNBR Ticket 1050 website. So I actually went to see Any Given Sunday, Tony, at the now deceased Alexandria movie theater. Geary and 18th. That's also where I saw Grease as a kid multiple times.
Hold on.
The rules are there ain't no rules.
That's just Crater Face from Grease, letting everybody know that on this program the rules are there ain't no rules.
100%. Keep it.
How was your review?
It's a film I reviewed. It was okay. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was a classic. Al Pacino. See, that was the Pacino. I like gangster Pacino.
Look at effing 901 in the chat. Says that was the start of Al Pacino's nosedive.
I kind of feel you, man. And I love big Al Pacino. Love him. The Godfathers, you know what I mean? What was it? Serpico. There's so many great films. He was great in The Irishman as Jimmy Hoffa. But, dude, I kind of agree with you, effing 901. He's in this locker room, we fight for that inch. We're gonna fight for that inch and everything. I'm like, dude, who is this guy? That's not Pacino. In any case, I had to review that film. Is a very long-winded way of telling you guys that.
By the way, back into the cocaine quarterback thing for just a quick second, Paulie.
Can't stop. Yeah,
the chat is talking about it, not me.
No, go ahead, brother. It's funny. Go ahead. Yeah.
John Joseph says I crossed paths with that guy in 2001.
Of course he did. Of course, John Joseph did. Yeah.
Wow, John Joseph. Maybe you can give a little more detail on that, or maybe you can't give details on it because this guy.
Actually, John Joseph right there, cool dude. He says, cool dude.
That's what everybody loved about him. He was a handsome guy. The people in the show, they talk about him like, oh, he's like, I enjoyed my time with him. I never thought he would go down this road. And then bam, dude, in the slammer for 10 years. He got out early. He was supposed to be in for 20, got out in 10. So good behavior.
Sorry, Tony. I know the show's getting crazy. More follow-ups with the audience real quick because Gravy is saying, Marky Graves goes, I'm betting big money Paulie Mac never got reimbursed for that movie ticket. You know what? Wrong. That's back in the day when they actually had money. Check this out, Gravy. True story. Tony and I, even back then, we're doing a lot of production work. We were always looking for new sound bites. Tony, do you remember we would walk into Hammer's office and go like, hey, after the show today, and really there was no joke behind this. This is what we used to do. We would say, hey, after the show today, Tony and I have to go to the record store and buy a bunch of DVDs so we can cut them up for sound. And Hammer would just be like, yeah, go ahead. So we would come back with like a bag full of DVDs that we would then watch and then, pick apart for sound. And they were like totally supportive and cool with that back then. But that's back when there was money in the industry. It's sad what it's turned into. There's really nothing left of the industry or very little. So I know they're not doing that anymore. They're not expensing movies and DVDs anymore, kids. No.
And I remember back in the day, because me being a avid snowboarder, every winter I would walk into, I don't know, whatever, the program director's office, assistant promotions director's office, and they would have like a whole booklet of free lift tickets.
I remember that.
For Alpine, for Squad. And I'm like, oh, and like, here, just pick which ones you want. And I'm like, oh, dude, now, good luck. And by the way, have you seen the ticket prices for a day one day on the mountain, Paulie. Have you seen what ticket prices are?
Well,
Now Palisades, now known as Palisades, or Heavenly Valley, or Alpine. Alpine and Palisades are now one.
I have not skied in many, many, many years. So no, I don't know. I'm totally out of touch with the price of something like that. What is it? I'm curious though. What does it cost for a day?
At least 220, if not 240.
What? That's pricey, dude. That sucks. That's too expensive.
Yeah.
How are you gonna get what about for kids?
Kids, I don't know, $160 or whatever. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
So it costs about $1,000 for a family of 4 or 5. Sure, it's $1,000 in slopes I just spent. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
so with a friend of mine, she says she has a theory that they're just trying to basically force people to buy season passes, because if you want to do one day on the mountain for a family of 4, you're looking at $1,000 right there. You might as well buy a season passes. But they're trying to get people to start thinking, which is not working for me, because I like to mix up my mountains, dude. I don't need to go to the same mountain all season long like a lot of people do. Plus, shout out Homewood. Homewood is back open this winter as long as they get enough snow. Let's welcome back Homewood. It's right next to the cabin. Andrew Markoulis from Long Beach Pizza is up there. He's in Sunnyside. I think he might be even doing like working a day a week on Homewood just to get on the mountain. So the smaller resorts, don't forget the smaller resorts in Tahoe. That's all.
You guys are all making me laugh. There's a lot going on today on the comment. John Joseph is on a heater, man. He's dropping bombs all over the place.
Yeah,
hey, Humdinger, I don't know about the scheduling, but of course I'm up for that. Of course. You just got to find us. I should be arriving around 5:36 tonight. And in fact, Tony has a massive amount in front of him before he gets up tonight. So we got to cut the show kind of on time today. In fact, you know what? On that note, why don't we do this? I want to go back to that Niners-Ram games. We just skimmed the surface. But before we do, spin the wheel, Tony. Los D or Dr. Matt Young? We get.
Let's go to Los D. Let's go to Los D.
You got
the calculator. Hold on.
Give me the calculator, and let's talk about the services of Carlos De La Fuente, who will be on hand tonight. Now, this is a gala we're going to, and Tony and I love a good gala. I'll be throwing on the blazer. I'll be throwing on some kind of dress shirt, but that's as far as I'll go. You're going to get jeans beneath the equator there, but on top, I'll be dressed like a gentleman. Tony, by the way, have you chosen your attire for tonight? Do you know what you're wearing?
No clue. Yeah.
Okay. How about a fish T-shirt with a blazer over it? And I'm not even kidding. I'm not. That's not a joke.
Nah, I'll go collared shirt and the blazer, but then like you said, I gotta go the comfort of jeans. I just gotta,
No, it's all about the denim. Yeah.
I'm not a pleated khaki guy like your former partner. I remember he used to get so mad at me when I would comment on his pleated khakis that he used to wear to work.
He wasn't a khaki guy. He did kind of leave that behind, but it took some time. Yeah, it
took a long time. I was like, every day we thought Murph was coming in and going golfing after the show because of the pleated khakis that he wore.
Well, you know what's funny you say that is that's what it became in the later years, where he did transition to jeans. Murph started wearing jeans on a regular basis, but then when he would roll into work wearing khakis, he'd be like, all right, I know he's golfing today right after the show. It was like the telltale sign. Any case, listen, if you're looking to buy some new khakis, talk to Carlos De La Fuente. Say, Carlos, I can't afford the khakis and I got to get some for this gala tonight. Let's talk about a private money loan. Carlos, let's talk about a home equity line of credit, a HELOC loan, which is a great way to kind of pull money from your own finances should you be in a position where you need cash. These are all different things, different ideas you can talk to Carlos about. Los D at Flex Funding. And Los D will be on hand tonight. I secretly hope that, well, not even secretly, let's say I publicly hope that he comes wearing that Prince jacket that he wore on Halloween with the little cap and the shades. He got all decked out as Prince on Halloween. I hope he comes dressed like that tonight. But anyway, look forward to seeing you, Carlos. And Carlos and his services are of a huge value to the PMP community, as he can handle private money loans. As I said, he can talk about your mortgage. He can reinvent your mortgage. He can do a reverse mortgage, a HELOC loan, like I said. And then again, the trust factor with Carlos, a guy with 26 years of experience, a San Francisco native. And I've said this multiple times. I'm going to keep hammering this point that I think the biggest value Carlos brings to the table when you're working on your finances is he's not going to let you inflict, like there will be no self-inflicted wounds here when it comes to Carlos. He will stop that. He will prevent that from happening. Because if you have an idea about how to raise up some cash for yourself, and then Carlos doesn't like that and says, like, you know what, that's good now, but in a year, you're going to regret that, he'll tell you. So he would defer like a business opportunity for himself in your best interest. That to me is the most valuable asset Carlos brings to the table. You've seen all the positive reviews. Check him out for yourself on Yelp. You will see how people feel about working with him. He's a trustworthy stand-up guy, and I know he can do great things for you, your family, and your business. So reach out to Carlos, 925-250-4894. You can also email Losty anytime, Carlos at myflexnow.com, Tony.
Paulie, you mentioned reviews. I'm just going to let this review do the talking for me, because we've talked a bunch about how much we love Los, but this is from Nancy, and this is a review online from Nancy. She says, working with Carlos de la Fuente doesn't feel like work. You want help securing a loan, carrying the mental and emotional weight of all you expect lies ahead. You approach Carlos. After he gets to know you and accesses your needs, he reaches out and takes the weight off you and lets you know he's got this. In an organized and timely fashion, he lays out the steps he will take and the steps you will be taking. Easy to reach. He's virtually by your side from start to finish. Our experience could have been a major headache. Carlos made it downright enjoyable. When he says he's got this, you can trust him completely. 5-star review from Nancy online. So that's not me talking. That's from a former client of Carlos's, and I'm actually probably not a former client, because I feel like once you're a client of Carlos's, you stick around and you keep coming back because of how he can help you and help you save hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month. So we love Carlos.
Thank you, Tony. And you keep dropping the review from Nancy. Let me shout out my favorite Nancy lyric, courtesy of Deep Purple. Tony, sweet Nancy was so fancy. And that, of course, would be from Knocking at Your Back Door. Thank you, Deep Purple. Thank you, Nancy. And thank you, Carlos de la Fuente. Okay, Tony, I want to go back real quick. I do want to get your thoughts on tonight's Raider game as well. But back to the Niners for a second. I was talking about applying pressure to Stafford being a key to the game. Other keys to the game for you. Go ahead. And I want to talk about the offensive side of the ball for a second too. So offensively speaking against the Rams, what do the Niners need to do in your mind?
I think Brian Robinson Jr. is a huge factor in this game, because
saying that. Yeah, that's interesting. Go ahead.
Well, because it's Kittle and McCaffrey are the two offensive studs they have, right? So you're going to use McCaffrey a lot, but hopefully not too much. And hopefully you can balance out the attack with Brian Robinson Jr. And talking to my new friend Paul at Standard Deviant Brewing, I met him yesterday. Paul, Washington Commanders fan, and he was saying you are so lucky to have as your backup running back Brian Robinson Jr. So I think he'll be a factor. Obviously Kittle too, but the Rams are going to lock in and try and shut those guys down. But if you can get the passing game going and then get the play action going with Brian Robinson Jr. spelling McCaffrey and giving McCaffrey the rest that he needs in week 10, I think that could be a big factor, Paulie.
Well, I like what you said, and I like what Aaron Kask is saying right now, too. Run the damn ball. Yep. That's the key coming from Aaron Kask. You know what, bro? I agree. I agree with Tony. I agree with you, Aaron Kask. Any concern about and I've been kind of thinking about this because I'm just telling you what I'm seeing when I watch the games. Do you feel at any point like maybe that Shanahan is overworking CMC, or are you cool just saying, no, give him 20, 25 carries a game, let him catch his 5 to 7 passes a game? My point is, like you said, it's him and Kittle, but more McCaffrey than Kittle. Kittle missed so many games, and McCaffrey has been doing all the heavy lifting on offense. I just wonder, with all these injuries going on, that's the last thing they need is McCaffrey to go down with any kind of injury because he's seeing so much offensive action. I realize they need him, but does that crop into your mind at any point, the amount of work he's doing?
Not really. I feel like and McCaffrey's like, bring it on, give it to me, give me the rock. I feel like Shanahan knows, because of all these injuries, that he's got to go to his strengths and use them as much as possible within reason, and that's where Brian Robinson comes in. So yeah, he had, I think, 33 total touches last week. McCaffrey did.
Yeah,
if you can get him under 30 touches and then get Robinson, I don't know, 10, 12, that would be fantastic. And like Aaron Kask was saying, run the damn ball, keep Stafford and Kyren Williams and Puka Nacua off the field, and we talk about this all the time. It's time of possession, long drives, keep their offense off the field, and give our defense a nice rest every now and again too. That always helps too. And on the defensive side of the ball, did get pressure on Stafford, man, because he's not mobile. And Bethune, stay hot. Basically stay hot, man. He's playing some great football. And then you've got Keon White and Bryce Huff as well. So if they can put some pressure on Stafford. Maybe add a couple of picks to that. He only has 2 picks, dude. That's pretty impressive in 9 weeks. So,
and as you know, the Niners don't really take the ball away. I mean, I'm not saying that as a joke. It's the truth. I mean, they finally broke that interception streak. They got one I think it was in Atlanta, right when they finally got that pick a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But still, I worry about that. And then we talked about the accuracy of Matt Stafford. Guy's a really good quarterback. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's been in the league a long time, Matt Stafford. It's funny to think about. His years with the Detroit Lions, it seems like a lifetime ago, and it kind of was. So anyway, yeah, I worry about Stafford. It's a big concern. And I also worry about McVay, dude. McVay always has something for the Niners that will kind of catch them off balance, or they didn't scheme for. So the McVay factor to me is also something to consider. Like going head to head with Kyle, he always gives Kyle a fight.
Yeah, I think Kyle always has something for McVay too, though.
Well, it's a mutual thing.
Yeah. So that's why it's so fun. And this season, more than any of recent memory, I feel like the coaching in the NFL is making a big difference. And you got to tip your cap to Robert Saleh and Kyle Shanahan and the coaching staff of the 49ers of the fact that they're 6-3 with using some third stringers, second stringers, third stringers, and just plugging holes of where people have gotten hurt. 6-3 and it could be in major control of the division if they were to win this game on Sunday. Dude, go 4-0 in the division. Are you kidding me? So
that would be huge. That would be freaking huge.
Massive, dude. Massive. So I'm very excited for the game. And I remember thinking going into the Thursday night football game against the Rams, not feeling good and thinking that the Niners are going to lose, and then they pulled it off. So I think it's going to be a battle. And the fact that the Niners are getting 4.5 at home, it's like, ooh, I like that. And I get sucked into the home dog thing probably more often than I should, but this is one where I'm like 4.5 at home. I could see this being a very tight game where it comes down to Paulie, your guy, number 18, Eddie Dinero Pinheiro.
Fine. He's ready. Yeah. He wants it. He's like, yeah, let me know when you guys need me. Let me know when you need me to make a few game-winning picks. I'm available. He's just so chill. He's so cool. I forget who did this. It might have been Don Peralta or Tony. You might have done this. I don't know. But a couple of weeks ago, I was on a text thread, and somebody sent out a picture of Eddie Pinheiro's face superimposed over Al Pacino in Scarface. Mm-hmm. And he's like sitting at the table, like with stacked money. He's holding a cigar with Pinheiro's face. It's hilarious, dude. It's freaking hilarious. Tony, I wanted to ask you, because you said something in that rap about Shanahan's coaching and Saleh's coaching and how important great coaching is. And that's going to be a big factor in the equation on Sunday. Let me bounce another game off you. There are 2 other NFC games this weekend I'm very curious to watch. One of them is Philly at Green Bay. That's going to be an interesting game. And the other one, well, actually, it's an AFC-NFC matchup. But how about the 7-2 New England Patriots going down to Tampa to take on a 6-2 team? Here's another example, Tony, where you like your home dogs. Here's another one. The Bucs are home underdogs to the Patriots. That surprised me. The Bucs are getting 2.5 points. And I think you have to acknowledge the job that Vrabel has done up in New England. I mean, you talk about a turnaround. I didn't see this coming, dude. They're in first place in the AFC East. The Buffalo Bills are looking up at the Pats, which is crazy, but that's where it stands. So how do you feel about that game? And I think Vrabel at this point is probably the leader or one of the leaders in a Coach of the Year award. I mean, he's just doing an incredible job. First place ahead of the Bills, going down to Tampa Bay. What do you think about this one?
I think this is going to be a battle, man. And Drake May is on fire. He's got like over 2,200 yards passing, dude. And he only has 4 picks. I think 17 TDs, 4 picks. Like the kid's having a great season. And Paulie, Mike Evans is on the IR. Chris Godwin questionable. Bucky Irving questionable. I don't know, man. I kind of like the Patriots in this game, and I like Vrabel too. Although there's the Baker Mayfield factor because he's playing very well.
A big factor too. That's a big factor. Yeah.
I'm seeing the Buccaneers -2.5 at home. So they're and that goes back to that home field when the teams are kind of evenly matched, Paulie, and then they give them like the 2.5 or the 3 points just because of the home field advantage, right? And so like MGM Sports, BetMGM.com has them at -2.5, but still, that's only because the game's in Tampa Bay. I think the teams are evenly matched. And if I had to go with the hotter team or the healthier team, I would probably go with the Patriots and Drake May, because the guy he's kind of like the AFC version of Jackson Dart, just playing loose and with a ton of confidence and having like a blast. He's like infectious to watch play, right? And so I'm assuming that Stephon Diggs is having a blast catching passes from Drake May right now.
I want to say, Tony, that our great friend Nikki DiFrancesco chiming in on this conversation, and you guys just realize also, and remember, the Bucs are coming off a bye, so they've had ample preparation time. Yeah, any team coming off a bye is usually pretty dangerous, especially a team like Tampa at home. I kind of take the opposite view of this. I don't know. I mean, I could, as we said earlier in the show, Paulie Mack and the way offs. I can be way off on a number of things. This could easily be one of them, but I'm not sure. And we'll find out, but I'm not sure that the Pats are ready to win a game like this. I don't know. We'll see, dude. It's going to be interesting. If they win this game, watch out, because that means they just don't give a damn. They don't care about what people's expectations are, what Vegas thinks. I mean, they're just going to continue to win games. This would be a monster win for that Pats team. Tony, real quick.
Oh, Paulie, on that note, the Patriots are 4-0 on the road, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a hell of a matchup, dude. I wish this was the Sunday night game, to be honest with you. Yeah. Do you have any feeling about Packers, Eagles, real quick? Just another juicy NFC matchup on Sunday?
I guess.
I'm going Packers. I think the Packers are going to drop a hammer on Philly. I do.
And what's the spread on that one? This got to be like.
Do I have that? Let me see.
On, I have it. It's the Packers are home dogs as well, plus 2.5.
I would take that. Boy, it's going to be an interesting hot and sour tomorrow, buddy. We got to come up with.
You can't take crap against the Eagles because they're just going to push it up and down the field, man. And that, like, literally, see, now you got me all worked up, man.
I like when you get worked up. Again, angry, borderline violent, creative Tony is my preferred version of you. Breaking furniture, yelling, getting forceful. So go ahead, let it out, man. Let it out.
I don't know, man. I got to go for Green Bay, especially at Lambeau. I like Jordan Love. Although Tucker Kraft is out, so that's a huge loss for them.
It is.
I do like Josh Jacobs. I do like Jordan Love.
And, I love Josh Jacobs. I love that dude. Yep.
You know, and I can't freaking stand, because the game could come down to one possession, and Philly, they're going to push their way down the field, and the refs are just going to be like, oh, it doesn't matter about neutral zone infractions. Oh, doesn't matter about false starts. Oh, it doesn't matter about the fact that Jalen Hurts' forward progress did not stop.
I love it. Tony, you are lighting up the freaking comments board, buddy. They're responding to your outburst.
Oh, dude, come on, man. Jalen Hurts is putting the ball out there. They knock it out of his hands. Oh, forward progress was stopped. The whistle never blew. The refs never blew the whistle. What are we doing? Why? Why else? Why is Philly getting this love? Tell me, dude. I don't get it.
Well,
it makes zero sense to me, dude.
I love this. This is my favorite. Again, my favorite Tony is happening right now. Running with scissors. I agree with you. Philly does look dicey this year. So Saquon Barkley, where'd he go, bro? That guy last year was breaking records all over the place. Now they don't even want to give him the rock. I don't know what's that.
Hold on. Let's do this for fun.
Oh yeah, it's business time.
Paulie, you got to do it's the Madden curse, because Saquon Barkley was on the cover of Madden this year, the video game, and he's not having the season. Well, he had an incredible season last year, but he's not having anywhere near the season.
Can a player, like if they came to you and said, hey, George Kittle, we want to put you on the cover of Madden next year, can he say, like, no, go F yourself because of the curse? Can you decline, or do you have to accept that so-called honor?
That's a great question. I decline because I don't want to be part of the Madden curse. That'd be amazing.
I don't want to be part of this whole negative cloud. I mean, I go on the box of this thing, and next thing you know, my team's 0-10. You know what I mean? I don't want to be involved. John Joseph with the clarification. Yes, you can, and people have declined. Great info, John. I didn't know that.
Phenomenal. And John Joseph, please text me or email me your run-in with Owen Hansen.
And while you're at it, please expand on your partying with the Cro-Mags. I want to hear about this too, because one night we were doing this and he goes, oh yeah, no, dude, I partied with the Cro-Mags for days. I'm like, I need to hear about that. So give us reviews of both of those, John, when you get a chance. Okay, also.
Could you imagine, Paulie, if it's Niners, Eagles, NFC Championship, right? And Niners are up by, I don't know, 5.
In your mind, where is that game being played? Just out of curiosity.
Oh,
we can beat them in Philly. We've shown that. I don't care about going to Philly. We'll beat them in Philly. Fine.
But that's a good call. I mean, first instinct, I was thinking Philly, but I'm like, you know what? But like Nikki DiFrancesco and who else said it on the chat, the Phillies are kind of off this year. They're not hitting on all cylinders.
They're not.
And AJ Brown's like unhappy, and they were
always unhappy, dude. He's another disgruntled wide receiver. Throw him on the pile, dude.
Hey, why don't we send Juwan Jennings and AJ Brown? Maybe they can go hang out together somewhere.
Maybe, and you know what, dude? If I could, just because we're talking about disgruntled superstars, how about if I throw, even though he doesn't play football, I'll give Philly Ja Morant while we're at it. You know what I mean? You can have Jennings, and I'll throw in a cross-sport pollination trade where I'm giving you Ja Morant just for whatever you want him for. He's just coming too because he can't stand being in Memphis now, apparently, and they suspended his ass. It's so funny. I was talking to Rod Brooks about Ja Morant last Monday at our party because the night of the Warrior Watch party when we had Brooksy and Tom Tolbert, we were watching Warriors Memphis. And at one point, I was up on the broadcast table area with Rod, and the party was already going. And there was just a close-up of Ja Morant sitting there on the bench. And I go, Brooksy, what's your take on this kid right here? Because I love Rod. He's a basketball lunatic. And he was like, said everything that I basically agree with, which is great player, needs to grow up big time. I mean, dude, he's, we all know about the Uzi thing. He was in the car with the gun. And he just needs to grow up, and he's got to mature, and he's got to realize the league does not revolve around him. He's another one of these guys where I feel like he's got all the talent in the world, but as of now, I don't see him like ever winning an NBA title. I just don't see it. He's not that kind of guy. He's like a me first guy. Right. But anyway, I'll throw that on the pile. You can have Ja Morant too, Philly. You do with him what you will. I'll just
throw Ja Morant's dad in there as well.
Ja Morant's dad. Give me what do you got?
You've never seen his dad at games where he's going nuts on the sideline?
Oh, being disruptive and stuff like that? Yeah. Well,
throw him into the deal. Throw him into the deal.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I'll trade Ja Morant's dad for Fat Dom. We can send Fat Dom down to Memphis. Let him deal with the Grizzlies down there. He can protect somebody down there. Yeah.
We got to say, though, Big Dom, we never gave props on the show to Big Dom, Fat Dom, whatever you want to call him, when he brought cheesesteaks to Cam Scadaboo's hotel room, hospital room.
Oh, that would have been juicier too. Yeah. If he came to the hotel like in a robe. I've got cheesesteaks for you. Yeah.
But that's a classy move, man. Like that's a classy move. He brought some cheesesteaks to Cam Scadaboo after Scadaboo got hurt. So I
refuse to say anything positive about Fat Dom. Not after. I mean, I wish Greenlaw would have knocked his block off, dude, that day in Philly when he got involved. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Greenlaw, dude, he's back, man. He's back tonight against the Raiders. They're hosting the Raiders. Dude, he's got 14 tackles and a sack in 2 games. He missed the first 7 weeks. Now he's back, and it's like, go Greenlaw. Hufanga's back too. Like, you got to have a vested interest in the Denver Broncos if you loved those guys as Niners, and which I did. I loved both of those guys as Niners, and I root for them personally, and that makes me root for Denver too because I love the Denver region. Bo Nix is a great story. I'm not the biggest Sean Payton guy.
I am actually. I like Sean.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. He gives me a weird. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I totally get what you're saying. He's one of those guys where he totally won me over. We got to interview him one time up at the Edgewood Golf Tournament in Tahoe because all the stars come out for that thing. They all do. Anyway, I'll leave. Never mind. I had a riff, but I'm going to leave that one alone. So he came and sat down with us, and he charmed the freaking daylights out of us. I was like, damn, Sean Payton rules. So anyway, I left that interview saying, like, I love Sean Payton. But on that note, real quick, Raiders at Denver tonight. We got some Thursday night football. We're not going to see the game. We'll be at the gala tonight, but you guys watch it for us and let us know. The Raiders are getting 8.5. Dude, the Raiders suck so badly, and it brings me no joy to say that. It doesn't. It's not like I've said this again. I'll document this. I am not a guy that hates the Raiders. I'm actually the opposite. No. I wish the Raiders well because we got to know a lot of those guys. And speaking of, I'm so excited about this. I talked to soon-to-be NFL Hall of Famer, Raider alumnus, the great Amy Trask this morning. She is a finalist to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Anyway, I talked to Amy this morning. She's going to join us on the show next week. And when you listen to Amy talk about the Raiders and what the organization means to her, you can't help but like buy into what she's selling and think about this. These are reasons I don't hate the Raiders. Here they come. First of all, Al Davis. We love ripping on Al. You're damn right, and all that. But That guy was a true renegade rebel badass. He did things that the league frowned upon. For example, he was the first NFL owner to hire a black head coach. Shout out Art Shell. He was the first NFL owner to hire a female executive, and that's Amy Trask. She was the first female CEO in the NFL, and now she's a finalist to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So anyway, these are, knowing Amy, having worked for their, flagship with Tony and Rod at the beginning of our career, like I got ties over there, man. I was very sad about George Atkinson last week, for example. We knew George. Yeah. And anyway, so I wish the Raiders well, but dude, they're 1-3 on the road. I'll tell you right now, they're not winning this game tonight. That ain't happening. Denver.
Will they cover the 8.5, Paulie?
Probably not. Probably not. They suck, dude. They said they're inept. I love their tight end, Brock Bowers. I love that kid. But Geno Smith, I've said this, dude. You're not going anywhere with Geno Smith.
Dude, Geno Smith, 11 TDs, 11 picks. That's Bingo. Not good. No. And then Brock Bowers, not Brock Landers from Boogie Nights, Paulie. Brock Bowers. He had a massive game in their tough loss to the Jags last week in Vegas. They lost 30-29 to Jacksonville. Bowers had 12 catches for $127 and 3 TDs, dude. So the guy is a force, but that also is going up against the Jags D, where you're not going up against Denver's number 1 rated overall rated defense. Denver's D is no joke, man. And so it's going to be, I could see a couple of picks by Geno Smith tonight. And Paulie, by the way, Aaron Cask, you nailed it, dude. Geno Smith is a less fun Jameis Winston. You nailed it. Nailed it.
I could use some Jameis Winston right about now. Yeah. Where is he? He's been underground too long. Bring him back. I need more Winston. I really do.
Totally. But
hold on a second. Wait. Where is Winston right now? Now I'm getting confused. Is he
New York Giants? New York Giants was the last sighting I had of him.
That's true. I thought okay. So he's behind Russell Wilson, I guess. He's third on the depth chart.
QB3?
I guess so. He's backing up Dart, Aaron Cask. Yeah, I know Russell Wilson is there too. So he must be third.
QB3. Yeah, looking at their depth chart, he's QB3. So it goes Dart, Wilson, Winston. So yeah.
Well, anyway,
I want to get some business. I wanted to handle some business real quick, Paulie.
Sure.
I saw a couple of people in the chat asking about our 30 on Thursday segment, which Paulie and I recorded this morning. 30 on Thursday. It is on the Cron 4 Plus app, or you can, it's on the Cron 4 Plus app, or I can email it out to certain people too that have emailed the polyspot@gmail.com. Cron Chris, the GM at Cron, will send me a link, a download link as well. So you can send me the show as well. But it's on the Cron 4 Plus app if you search for Paulie Mike Parkles. 30 on Thursday.
Thank you, Tony. And that's a new show that Chris has given us at Cron. We do it, like Tony said, we'll cut it once a week. It does get posted on Thursdays. Tony, for the people that are interested in seeing 30 on Thursday, the ones that you don't email it to, are you when is it available on Cron 4? Do you know what time it goes live over there? We cut it ahead of time, but I'm not sure the time that they post it. Is it 5 o'clock? I want to say 5 for some reason.
I don't know the exact time either because we're not in charge of programming. We just give them the segment and they plug it in when it works for them. But down the road, I think eventually it would be great to just have our own link that we can just post right now on the show. Here's where the show will be. And that's what we can do in the future. But right now, if you go to the Cron 4 Plus app, if you download that app, it'll be on there for sure. And then Cron Chris will give me a link where you can watch the show as well. So I'm waiting for that link from Cron Chris because I sent him the show about 2 hours ago. So
okay, cool. And then Tony, real quick, there's multiple people have asked. Will Sparks has asked, Stevie B, Steve Bisecchio has asked, where is Professor Dom Peralta today? So I love that you guys miss him. He is actually, like I said at the beginning of the show, but if you're just joining us, Dom is already up in Mill Valley, and we have to end pretty soon because we have to get up there too. We got the Gift of Vision Gala tonight up at the Mill Valley Rec Center. We will be, Tony, I love this. We'll be in the Cascade Room, brother.
Yeah. Dude, that's like the Cascade Room in Westlake Joe's, original Joe's of Westlake. There was the Cascade Room. It's still called the Cascade Room. But back in the day when I was a kid, we'd go in there, no windows, big fish tank, very like I don't know. I felt like deals went down in that Cascade room, and then thank God for the Dugan family, because I heard rumors that they were going to bulldoze Westlake Joe's and build condos or apartments, and then the Dugan family came in and said, no, hold on, we want to renovate Joe's and keep it up. So
when you say deals went down, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but my mind went to like the Cosa Nostra. Are you talking about mafia deals? Or are you? I don't know why I thought that. I just said it went right to the wise guys. Am I right in that?
Let's just say that my grandfather used to walk in with cash in hand, and there'd be a line out the door, and then like 10 of us would walk in and walk into a table. So I just don't know what went down, but the Cascade room just had a feel. And I always used to say, like, I joke around saying, if I ever made a movie, I would have had that Cascade room and that bar at Joe's in the movie at some point.
It's a great call. It's a great call. And it does have a cinematic feel, that room. And, you know, it's funny that I keep raving about this Martin Scorsese documentary. Please watch it. If you guys like Scorsese, you will love this. It's so good. And that's my version of the cocaine quarterback. Tony can't stop talking about cocaine quarterback. I can't stop talking about Martin Scorsese. But anyway, I could have seen Scorsese shooting a scene in there with like Pesci and De Niro. Like, it's got that feel. Yeah.
That's what I mean about the Cascade room.
Yeah.
It had that feel of like deals went down here. Yeah. I don't have any proof of that. I don't have any references. I've got nothing.
Tony might be a little more dialed in than we think, because I know like the mafia guys all say this like uniformly. They say, if people ever ask them like, are you in the mafia? Are you like in organized crime? And the trained answer you're supposed to give is, there's no such thing as the mafia.
Yep.
And you're kind of going there. Tony's kind of going there. So it's making me kind of wonder about his background right now. No, there's no such thing. Are you sure about that? Let's go ask some of the NBA guys. Let's go ask some of the NBA guys that just got involved with 4 of the 5 families.
Yeah. Hey, Chauncey Billups. How are the Genoveses? How are the Lucchese's? How are the Gambinos doing, buddy? What are you doing, Chauncey Billups, man?
Yeah, like, bring in as many of the mafia families as possible. I bet there's one that stayed out of it. Those are the smart guys. Might have been the Columbus. I don't know who they were, but one of the 5 stayed out of the whole mess. The smartest family.
I was gonna say they're either like thankful their name didn't get implied in that story, or they're pissed that they didn't get mentioned as one of the 5 families. You know, Paulie, back to the NFL Sunday coming up, right? Sure. I feel like an underrated member of the Niners that is coming back off injury is Ben Bartch is coming back to the O-line. And that's, again, not sexy, and it's not the big name, but if you want to protect Mac Jones and or Brock Purdy, I don't think it's going to be Purdy, but if it is Purdy, please protect him. I don't think the toe is anywhere near ready. But getting Bartch back, I think, is a good thing. And so if they can get that extra layer, give Jones an extra half second to a second to throw, be huge, and keep him on his feet, man. I just worry about Jones's health, because I don't want Jones to get hurt in the game, and then that forces them to put Purdy in the game, or worse, forces them to put Adrian Martinez in the game too. So,
Adrian, I did it. By the way, Tony, real quick, now I feel you. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna ask you to play the extended dance remix of the Business Jam. Sure. And then I'm gonna give Dr. Young some love. And then we're gonna wrap the show, if you don't mind, Tony, with a Tony's top 3 that we prepared before the show. And by the way, it's another boycott of bookmarks. It's another boycott of the mailbag. Dude, I've been teasing it for 2 days. As soon as I start teasing something, it never happens. Again, Paulie Mack and the Way Offs. This is just more evidence. I teased bookmarks yesterday. I teased bookmarks today.
Your name is on the show, though. You can take it wherever you want to take it.
So, my name shouldn't be on anything. Let's be honest. The only thing my name is really appropriate on is my checkbook, because that seems to be why I exist on the planet. And who needs one? By the way, you need a check. Let me know. Just let me know what to make it out and how much do you need.
I love that you're still using a checkbook. That's
the only way I can. No, it's a bit. I mean, what do you want me to do? Send pay? What do you want me to Venmo PG&E? You know what I mean? What do you want me to do? I'm not doing that.
You can pay online or get a recurring payment, or that.
Some of them I do. Some of them I pay online. But when people, Tony, for personal loans, which I seem to specialize in lately, that's when I write the checks. And as I said, if anybody needs a loan, you'd come see me. Okay, Tony, I'm kidding. Tony, give me the Business Jam.
It's business time. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business time. Ooh.
It's business time. Oh, get me back in the mouth where I belong. Hold on, let me brush these bad boys up. Whiten these guys up.
Mm.
Scrub,
Mm.
scrub. Brush up with your toothpaste. Anyway, thank you for my Philips toothbrush. Dr. Young, we talked about settings last night. Clean, white, gum health, deep clean, tongue clean. We got it all. You got options on the Philips toothbrush. That's the kind of advice Dr. Young brings to the table.
Yep.
He's one of my favorite guys. He is incredibly talented at what he does. He's been in business for over 25 years. He's the official dental office of the PMP show and community/familia. The Young Dental Group is waiting for your call. If you're unhappy with your dentist, if you don't like the guy or the woman or whoever's taking care of your teeth, trust me, this is one of the things I am certain of. You will not be disappointed if you go see Dr. Young. In fact, Tony, I'm going to let you do a lot of the lifting on this one today because I know that you are close to bringing your entire family to Dr. Young. Now I'm behind you guys. I need to get back in there myself. In the meantime, if you're ready to make the switch, you want to make an appointment, maybe have a toothache, you need something that needs attending to, 415-392-8611. Yep, Rags, me and my fang. I told Dr. Young, don't mess with the fang. Leave that where it is, and he did. You can also email Dr. Young, info@youngdentalsf.com. But let's talk about you, Megan, Dom, Olivia, the whole Ryan clan over there will soon be marching into the offices of Dr. Young. Where does that whole procession stand?
Well, it's about they're Megan. We found out that they accept Megan's insurance, which is they accept most insurances, which is great news. And they're trying to just book a time because the kids. It's all about the kids' schedules, dude. The kids' schedules. It's just the sports, youth sports.
Relentless. It's relentless.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. I'm going to miss it when it's gone, but man, is it mayhem right now. So anyways, we're trying to work that out schedule wise, but it doesn't get more flexible schedule wise than Dr. Young and the Young Dental Group because they are open 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. on weekdays and 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. So it's like, and they're excited because they actually see me, my daughter and I brush most nights together because she watches the flossing and she'll brush with me now. We make it like a little thing and they hear me talk about it and they're like, well, I want to actually like enjoy going to the dentist, or I want to like not loathe going to the dentist the way they used to. So that's why they're like, hey, we should make the switch too. So I said, yes. So I just called Dr. Young and asked him if they take that insurance, Guardian Insurance. He said, yes, we take most. And so we're just booking a time, but they're excited to meet the whole staff at Young Dental Group. I said, can I request Joyce? Joyce is my favorite, although they're all great. And I think the kids get nervous about going to the dentist because the idea of having anything in their mouth is not a comforting thought. But I'm like, you guys, this is the guy and this is the staff to do it. It's Dr. Young. And also, Paulie, we did reviews for Carlos De La Fuente. Here's some reviews of Dr. Young, quick reviews. This is from Daniel. He says, Dr. Young provided the best option of anesthesia. So I was completely comfortable before, during, and after the surgery.
No joke. That's important to me too. Honestly, all kidding aside, that's a big factor, and he will take care of you. If you need to get comfortable, he'll make you comfortable. Yes.
And it's funny too. Megan actually asked for the same thing. She says, well, can I use, the gas? Because I get really nervous. And I said, absolutely. And then also Daniel says in his review that Dr. Young checked in on him after the surgery to make sure that checked in on him multiple times afterwards to make sure he was okay. Also, same person named Boyd says, I had a fantastic experience with Dr. Young and his staff. Dr. Young listened to my concerns and then dealt with each matter separately and with patience and kindness. So it's all there. The proof's in the pudding, man. And I've been there like 4 times in the last few months. And again, it was an enjoyable experience, which is so interesting to say about the dentist. But we love Dr. Young. And by the way, congratulations, Dr. Young, for listening on the Bills. Big win over the Chiefs last week. And now the Bills go Bills, go. We're rooting for the Bills because of Dr. Young and because I love Josh Allen. But Dr. Young, if you're looking for a great dentist that makes the experience something that you don't loathe, something that you actually look forward to because of the people and the kindness and their attention to detail, Dr. Young, Young Dental Group, 415-392-8611, 415-392-8611, or email info@youngdentalsf.com.
Thank you, Tony. Well said. And I can back that up too, because when I had my root canal done a couple of years ago, he called me over the weekend. I had the procedure on a Friday after the show. And then he called me at home Saturday. How you feeling? Do you need anything? Are you comfortable? And like that's the kind of guy he is. So thank you, Dr. Young. We love you and we thank you for supporting the show. Hey, on the back end here, Tony, I want to get to your top three, but before I do, Lily Merchant, one of the queens of the PMP Familia, joining us right now, and she says, guys, am I too late for the music assignment? No, you're right on time, Lily. Here's how it's going down. Because we are going to wrap in a minute and we have to hustle up to Marin, or Tony does, and we need to get over to the Marin Rec Center in the Cascade Room. We have this Gift of Vision gala tonight. And considering that and the amount of work and effort Dom's put into this, it's a charity he's involved with directly. We thought, well, how about, why don't we celebrate this on the music assignment? Let's just do songs about eyes, songs about vision, songs about sight, songs about looking at something. So anything involving your eyes or vision, that's where we're going with the music assignment. And there's so many possibilities. I mean, I'm going to have to try to come up with something cool. And I will. And we'll do that tomorrow. We'll also give you the hot and sour picks. We'll catch up on last week and give you the picks for tomorrow. But Tony, for our final act today, let's cue it up. Tony's top three. We're going to end strong today and give you the hand gesture. I want it all.
You want nice, dude. Here you go.
Tony's top three. Tony's top three. Tony's top three.
Feed the duck, boy. Feed the freaking ducks. And the
Look
ducks,
how
by the way,
excited Rags is. Look how excited Rags gets when you introduce top three. The people love the top three. Tony, could I get the artwork of the hand, of the gesture?
yeah, stand by. If I can just pull it up here. There it is. There it is. There's the artwork. Come on. There it is. There it is. So it's the 3, and then there we go. T3. T3. Okay,
It's about
got
as
it.
close as I've ever come, and I'm still not doing it right. Anyway, Rags, I'll leave that to you. Thank you for our logo. And Tony, I thank you for the concept. Where are we going today? What do you got? What's in your top three, buddy?
Let me lower the Ducks a little bit. By the way, Oregon Ducks traveling to Iowa. Number 9 Ducks at number 20 Iowa Hawkeyes. And tip of the cap to the Hawkeye Wave. Paulie and I were talking about that earlier. It's also part of our 30 on Thursday segment that we did today on the Chron 4 Plus app. But Paulie, number 1 in the top 3. Do you think, it's a very simple question, just do you think, early in the show I talked about my perspective on this, but do you think that the Niners can beat the Rams twice in a regular season?
I think it's a big ask. I'm just being told, I'm even being brutally honest. I think it's a big ask. Yes, they can. It's possible. But I think the reality is you got to be ready for a freaking fist fight on Sunday, because the Rams have all the motivation they need. They have to keep pace. In fact, if the Niners win this game, they're in really incredibly, with all these injuries, they'd be in really good shape because they're 3-0 in the division. 49ers are, as most of you know. The thing that makes me, there's a couple things that make me hesitant. One, it's hard to beat a McVay team twice in the same year. 2, they have all the motivation they need, the Rams. They're going to come in with a bad attitude. They really need this game. And the Niners are home underdogs. They're getting 4.5 points. That's a lot of points for the Niners to get on their own field. So last time there was a situation like this where Vegas, I think, kind of influenced the way I thought about the game was when we were in Tom Tolbert's backyard. And you asked Tom at one point in that show, you're like, hey, Tom, what do you think about the Niners Texans? And he goes, take the Texans. Like there was no hesitation. And I kind of feel like that's the reaction I've been seeing all week long, are the so-called experts kind of forecasting this game. Most people in the country, most of the football talking heads are taking the Rams. Does that, and I kind of do feel like it's influenced my vision of this game a little bit. And I think it's going to be a really, really tough game. Yes, they can beat the Rams twice, but I think it'll be really, really tough to do. It would not surprise me if the Rams win this game. How about you?
Yes, I think they can. And the whole, when everybody zigs, maybe it's fun to zag, like, because everybody's saying the Rams. I do totally hear you about McVay, and I hear you about how hard it is.
Come on, guys. We're going to do it again. We're going to beat them on their own field, guys. Come on, guys.
You know what I mean? With the gel, he's going to gel up and get his little elf costume on.
The freaking arms and the legs and the super skin tight clothes.
The end zone celebrations. And I'm talking about McVay now. The end zone celebration.
Come on, guys. We're going to get them. We're going to play football. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, it works. It's crazy. It works. And it's a great rivalry. That's why I feel like all this, prognostication of Stafford as being red hot and Kyron Williams and Puka Nacua and their defense. And I feel like because of how well these teams know each other, it's going to go down. It's like going to be a one possession game. It's going to be a one score game. So I feel like the Niners could pull it out, especially being at home and not having to travel, even though it's just a short trip up the coast for the Rams. I still feel like the Niners are at home as long as they're wearing their freaking Reds. They better be wearing their Reds on Sunday. I'm assuming they are. They better be. I'm assuming they are. And then it goes back to time of possession, and it goes back to long drives, run the damn ball, and getting in Stafford's face. Knock him on his ass. Get him, I'm not saying, unnecessary roughness or roughing the passer, but when you can get in there and, send a message.
That goes back to what we were saying earlier in the show today about that being, in my opinion, that was the first key to the game for me, which is get pressure on Stafford. If they can't, we're in trouble. Let's just be honest. The Niners are going to be in trouble if they can't get to Stafford. That guy will carve your ass up if he has time. He will stand tall in the pocket, and he will find people downfield. Anyway, okay, and it looks like we have a lot of confidence in the comments line. It looks like it's very pro-Niners kind of a reaction, and I hope you guys are right. I hope it would be a huge win for the Niners if they can get this one on Sunday. Okay, moving on. What else you got in your top three?
Dude, Bochy back in the orange and black, right? Back in black, back in orange and black. Does that, the number 2 in the top 3, do you think with Bochy being back in the mix and then obviously joining Buster Posey and then obviously both of them helping out Tony Vitello with his first year in Major League Baseball, do you think that is an added attraction for maybe players like Pete Alonso opting out of his contract in New York? What's his name in Boston? I'm blanking on his name right now. He's opting out of his contract, third baseman. Do you think that's an added attraction? Bregman is out of his contract in Boston. Do you think Bochy being back in the mix is an added attraction for players to maybe want to come to SF?
Great question. I hadn't even thought of that. That's a good question. I can't hurt. I mean, it certainly can't hurt. I mean, there's no way it won't be a deterrent. Boy, I hope so, Tony. Yeah. I hope that. I mean, I think that Buster Posey kind of fills that role too. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, as a guy with 3 World Series rings, and he's not so old that a lot of these younger players don't remember Buster Posey. In fact, it was kind of funny, dude. I forget who was saying this, but I heard one of the pitchers. I think it was a Toronto pitcher, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but it was one of the arms in the World Series after one of the games on the MLB Network was saying like his favorite pitcher growing up was Tim Lincecum. And I guess we're at that point now where Timmy's best years are about 15 years ago, and those young kids are now playing Major League Baseball. So, yeah, I think Buster Posey hopefully is an attraction, and I think having the mind and the baseball acumen of Bruce Bochy as an advisor, I'm going to say yes. I think it is an appealing kind of element to hopefully for players wanting to come and be a part of the Giants, because we got to get back to that where guys want to come here.
Yeah,
they haven't for a while now. People are avoiding San Francisco, but hopefully Bochy, Buster, the new manager of Vitello being a young and excitable guy. Hopefully, all 3 of those in tandem will be an attraction for I hope so.
Here's the sales pitch from Bochy.
If you need a beer, grab a beer.
Yeah. Basically. How about this as a sales pitch? Well, come on in. Let me show you my rings. I got 4 of them now. So I think that's an attraction too. This guy's one of the most winningest managers of this era. Bochy will be in the Hall of Fame sooner than later, and I will be the first guy to ever congratulate him. So yes, we're going to say positive all around, and yes, Bochy's an attraction. Yes.
I love it, Paulie. And last, number 3 is, do you think it's a wild card? It could be sports or not sports. We're going to stick with sports today. Do you think that the Rams are present day, that the Rams are the Niners' biggest rival, or is there somebody else that you consider a bigger rival to the Niners than the Rams?
That's a great question. That's a really good, because boy, I mean, if you ask Ronnie Lott, he'll tell you the Rams are the biggest today. He'll say that. And you got to remember, like before that Ronnie Lott, Joe Montana, and Bill Walsh era, the Rams used to kick the Niners' ass when I was a kid in the 70s. Year after year after year, the Rams would win the NFC West. A lot of times lose to Rags Cowboys in the playoffs, the Danny White years, the Staubach years. But now, dude, that's a really, I mean, it's not Green Bay anymore. I can't even call Kansas City a rival because there's no rivalry. The Chiefs own the Niners. They own them. Shanahan's never beaten the Niners. How can that be a rivalry? Go ahead, T.
What about up north? Up north in Seattle,
I don't think that burns the way it did during the Harbaugh years. I don't. I think we're kind of in this. I don't know even know. Wow, I don't know. I don't. Oh no. Do you think the Rams are the biggest rival for the Niners?
I feel like it's Rams or Seahawks because I feel like with the Darnold factor now being a former Niner adds some weight to the rivalry, and the Seahawks playing good ball. And I don't have the Niners schedule up in front of me, but I should look it up. When do they play the Seahawks again?
I have to check too.
Is that the last game of the season?
You might be right. I think it's very late, or it's one of the last games. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I think you're right.
It is. It's the last game of the regular season. I just looked it up. So they play the Bears on December 28th. And then the game versus the Seahawks, it says TBD. How about that, man? But that game could mean a hell of a lot if both teams continue on this trajectory, right? And so that's why I wonder if I would say Rams Seahawks, it's kind of either or.
Rams Seahawks. A lot of people are saying Seahawks on the board. A lot of people feel like I just feel like the Seahawks are definitely a rival, but let's be honest, it has cooled down from the Harbaugh, Pete Carroll era. I mean, at that point, that was a bloodbath. It reminded me of the old kind of Parcells Giants Niner games back in those days. It was so physical, so violent. Well, I'm still thinking about this all day. I really am. I'm going to be off on my own kind of pondering this. The biggest rival for the Niners. Yeah, I got to give that some thought. I don't know how I feel about that personally.
I love how strong the NFC West is, to be honest with you. I love that the Rams are really good. I love that the Seahawks are really good. And I love that the Niners are 6-3. It's going to be a hell of a second half of the season. And the Niners have a bye week on week 14. And that will be coming at a great time, especially if Ayuk never comes back. If Pearsall, we don't know what Pearsall's deal is. We don't know what Purdy's deal is. So it could come at a very good time. And I love that it's going to go, hopefully, knock on wood, go down to the wire in the NFC West with these three teams. The Cardinals, they're having a tough go.
I see a lot of defund the Kansas City Chiefs coming through too. So I guess a lot of you feel like the Chiefs, and I do too. But I mean, the Niners have never beaten them, so I feel like there's no rivalry. It's ownership. Until the Niners can punch them in the face and get a win, I can't. For me, I can't call that a rivalry. It's more of a hatred thing, if you're asking me.
Nice.
Tony, we do have to wrap, but last thing of the show today will be a super. I think it's Nicky DiFrancesco. Let's give him some love. And yeah, dude, no, the Sharks are I was watching. I got some Kraken. I was getting my Kraken on last night. I got some Sharks Kraken. I will say this. I think we're going to be joined by a great Shark voice. Our good buddy, Tony, is going to be joining us hopefully soon from the Shark. I'm getting totally distracted here. My phone just went bonkers. Ted Ramey. Sorry, I wanted to talk about Ted Ramey. Ted Ramey should be a guest on the show very soon. And he was giving Polymath Particles some love on his show, talking about Sharks hockey last week. So, Ramey, we love you, buddy. And Nicky DiFrancesco, totally go Sharks in the Ralph Barbieri voice. Go Sharks. And who is leading the NHL in points? Give me the name. I need the name. Last thing is Patty from Napa, our final super of the day. Tony, if you want to get her up there real quick, got to drop. Had a funny Walsh text coming your way. P.S. Niners will win. Okay, I love the confidence, you guys. I love it. And thank you, Patty. Hope you had a good time at Jackson Brown last night. He looked pretty good in Vegas. Patty was sending out some films. So, okay, Tony, let's wrap this up. Let's get up to Mill Valley. Let's get to the rec center. I'll see you in the Cascade room with your fish T-shirt and your blazer. I'll be in there as well. Tony didn't catch that. He's focused on something else. Okay.
No, I was looking to see if Nicky DiFrancesco gave us. I'm looking to see if in the chat he gave
all
us
good. All good
points, but I don't see it. But yeah, I'll be in the blazer. I'll be in the button-down shirt. That's as far as it goes, though. You're lucky that I'm tucking in because I don't like to tuck in.
Nor do I. I'm not a big tuck guy too. I'm not. So that's one tuck and one No tuck.
And you
That's
know what?
very-
I got to tip the cap to the gentleman who created the company Untucked. They make those button down shirts that are meant to be untucked, but they
Yeah,
look nice and they don't go super long down your leg. Because anyways, I'm too short, so when I untuck, dress shirts go long down my legs. So I hate tucking in. I hate it.
A lot of people want clarification. Arkansas Dave, go, when you talk about tucking in, you talking James Gum style tucking in? Or I'd blank me tucking in? Or
I never tuck. Never tuck.
I'd blank me. Yeah. You sure you never tuck? No one's looking? You tuck, dance around your house a little bit?
Never tuck. But I'll tuck the shirt in tonight because it's a fancy affair, but I cannot stand tucking in my shirt. I hate it.
Okay, well, we're going to do it tonight in the name of the charitable occasion for the gift of vision. Thank you, Nutter. Thank you, Rags, John Joseph, Arkansas Dave, Matt Stenson, Pine Needle, Noemi, Ray Goodman, the great Patty from Napa, Lily Merchant, all y'all, John Joseph. Keep on rocking in the free world, my man. Tony, I'll see you in Mill Valley. Have your tucked in shirt ready to rock. Stevie P, rocking New Era, Aaron Cask, Nutter. We love all you guys. Miguel. Cheers to you as well, my man. And
Rockin' New Era. Thank you for the email, dude. At paulyspot@gmail.com. He sent a picture of him as the Burger King King that we could share next time. Pauly, if you'll let me, next time we go to the mailbag, I'll show it. If you'll let me.
I'll let you. I've been begging for the mailbag for years. Tony won't know that. I've been stuffing bookmarks for years. I might have to pay. Tony, how about if I write you a check? Maybe that'll get you to open the mailbag. Why not? All right. Hey, listen, have a great afternoon, everybody. Enjoy the night game tonight. I hope the Raiders show up. That's all. Just give me a game.
Yeah. Cover. Just cover.
You get 8.5 points. Make me happy. You know what I mean? Send McVay home or Sean Payton home unhappy. All right, Tony.
Bad that my kids know what plus 8.5 is, that they know that when the game
probably
starts.
It's not a good sign. Yeah, they shouldn't be looking at spreads. I mean, that's the last thing you need, dude. Dad, I'm in jail. Yeah.
My son the other day, I was like, Dad, hey, so game starting. That means they're up 7-0, right? 0-0, but it's actually 7-0, right? And I
Here we go. This is how it starts. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, but let's not talk about it. Can we get but anyways, we
need like the Gamblers Anonymous hotline, or are we good? Okay, I'm just asking. I want to get the kid help if he needs it. Yeah.
Well, I'll just have him call Shohei. And he can get some gambling tips from Shohei.
If you would go to someday, if I can pay you enough to get to bookmarks, you'll see I have a Shohei gambling bookmark waiting for us. At some point, we'll see it.
Beautiful.
Hopefully.
Well, we can get Chauncey Billups in there too. He's a gambler as well.
And the Lucchese's and the Gambinos and the Genoveses, all of them. Everyone's invited. And there is no mafia. There's no such thing. Yes.
Nope. No. And there's no. Watch out what goes on in the Cascade Room, Pauly. And by the way, I hope next Monday we're playing this.
You just got your asses whipped.
That's what I hope we're playing on Monday after the Niners Rams. Okay. But for now, we're gonna have to go to Diamond David Lee if you'll allow me. Okay.
Hells yeah. And last thing, Nicky DiFrancesco. That's right. That kid Celebrini. That's the high score. This kid is fun to watch, man. Sharks are, you know what? Keep it going, Sharks. We can talk Sharks on the show. Absolutely. And like I said, we'll get Ted Ramey to join us. Yes, T.
Celebrini.
100%.
Oh, Celebrini.
You know who's who's a big fan of that track? Raymond Ritter.
Yes.
He once asked me, he's like, dude, can I get an MP3 of that? I'm like, sure. Yeah. So he liked the Celebrini jam. Hey, everybody, have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow for High Noon. Music assignment, songs about eyes or vision. And that's all we got. Tony, I'll see you in Mill Valley in a couple of hours with your shirt tucked in, not James Gum style. And have a great Thursday night. We'll see you for High Noon tomorrow, kids. Cheers.
Peace, y'all.